the universe in the
Yeah,
40K universe because he
sure.
pops in with everybody.
I like the idea of Solemnus is really cool to me. Like him as a character is very he is the only Necron that I could like get into because of the whole like the scenes in the book where he and Orican are just like watching like the humans on the planet or whatever, and Orican's like, "Why the fuck are we wasting this time?" And Trajan's like, "Bro, check it out. They're like musicking. Isn't that sick?"
Hold on, I got to
Trajan's
talk shit.
Trajan's
I got to talk shit.
autistic special interest is
Hold on.
human.
1 second. 1 second. Hey, let me tell you something. Perfect Fitness. Can you hear me? I can hear myself echoing. Let me fix this.
Hmm? Are we throwing shade?
Okay, I'm fucking my shit up here. All right, perfect fitness. Let me tell you something. Well, nope, still not got it.
Everybody else is fucking late. Nerds.
Where's?
It's gonna be a DCS round 2, Tyler. It's just you, me, and
Yeah.
Gibbs.
Found it. All right, perfect fitness. Let me tell you something. Here's what you need to know. You are like 5'6", maybe 160 pounds soaking wet. Okay, I wrestled D1 in college and got a scholarship, and then competed in MMA for 10 years after that. Got a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and I was a top rank. And listen, to get to D1, that's in the top 2% of wrestlers worldwide, not nationwide, worldwide. What have you done as an athlete? You've done zero, except for like make weird noises and like curl like 2 pounds. I can curl more weight with my dick than you can curl, period. Like right now, fat as fuck. I go in there and throw up 350 on bench about 15 times, not even maxing out. Can you do that? No, you can't even lift 350, and that's probably your squat max. My bench press is your squat max. My incline press, you know what that is? That's your deadlift. How do you like the way that dictates? Don't tell me what you can and can't do. And I've been not working out regularly. I've been working out 1-2 days a week for the last year now because I'm fat as fuck and my knees out. But guess what? We're back now, baby. So how do you like the way that dictates? I don't want to hear one more word about fitness out of your mouth unless it's fitness dick in there. So shut your mouth.
Help,
Who's
I'm
saying
scared. I
this?
need an adult.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just.
he's lecturing you.
Is he
He's
lecturing?
over here.
Wait, are you
He's
lecturing
like,
me?
no, I'm
Oh.
talking to fucking
Well, you
perfect.
said
He's over here.
165 pounds soaking wet, so I
I know
thought
what
you were
this guy
talking to
looks
me.
like. No, I know what this guy looks like.
Me
No,
too.
I'm just over here like, bro, like people trying to give me fitness advice. Like, listen, I get it, I'm fat, but which one of y'all have competed at D1 level? None of y'all bitches. I don't want to hear this shit. You know, there's a reason why I'm the scariest debate, bro. It's because I fucking actually went and fucking competed in combat sports. And I didn't, and this is something against all the Army guys in here. Hey, guess what? I was an actual athlete. Y'all were just the guys they used as cannon fodder. How do you like the way that dictates? I'm an actual beast.
Who are you talking to, though? Is what I'm
Our
wondering.
American
You know,
Armed Forces. He's an actual athlete, okay?
yeah, here's the best part. Here's the best part. You know how I know I'm a better athlete than all of them? Because I went and trained them at Fort Bragg and fucking over here at Lackland Air Force Base. Like, so I don't want to hear both of them. We did fucking the fucking
All
Marine
right.
Corps hand-to-hand combat.
Counter
I don't want to hear this
argument.
shit.
Counter argument. How many times do you see like in a movie like the fat gym teacher on the golf cart like following the kids jogging? I'm not saying that's you, but just because you teach people gym shit doesn't mean you gym shit. Also, my dick bench press is 180, just for the record.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Let's
That's not gonna work.
fucking warm up with 180.
That might work in like
Listen,
cross
you gotta
country
start
or
somewhere,
some
Tyler.
shit with the golf cart and all that
I
shit.
started 180.
That's not gonna work with wrestling. You have to get in there and you have to grab them by the fucking haunches and let them know who's fucking in charge.
I'm gonna be clear, Gibbsy. You could probably you are probably unironically in better health than me. So, whoever this is
Yeah,
a ding dong.
somehow-
Even your chain is thicker than mine.
Yeah, my doctor apparently said that I'm fucking a golden god today. I was like, I've been over eating shit for the last year, barely been able to work, and now apparently I'm fucking got the fucking genetic blueprint of Michelangelo's David. I don't want to hear nothing.
The
out of
only
this
the
fucking
only the only improvement I could possibly see you making is an orange spray tan and a blonde comb over. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
like just embrace Trump or what? Like I'm gonna look like Trump. Like you
You
know in
know,
Star
you're
Wars,
gonna look great.
in both new and old canon, there's like a sect of people that like start trying to look like Palpatine, like they get like surgery and shit.
Yeah! Wait,
I was
yeah, no,
like,
totally, it's that, literally.
why? Why? Like, that's exactly what you just fucking. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
That's a fuck you. Oh my god, it's literally like you're like texting me. Like you come up with the fucking deepest like Star Wars lore cuts that I still somehow understand.
I listen because I like to use the fun ones, you know.
Also, we gotta you know, I don't
Fill
know
like
when
two more
everybody
hash
else
browns.
is deciding to show up, but we gotta
Yeah,
have
they'll
a
get.
chat about Arcane, buddy.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a second. We'll give them 5 minutes, or so they'll kick it off.
Where is everybody?
The fear is getting them, bro.
Yeah, for real. They're afraid of
We'll
Tyler and his 180-pound start.
I
These
will.
goddamn dissertations he's
25,
posting in my
actually.
fucking group chat. I
Yeah.
gotta say, this is my favorite group chat I've been in a while. Like, I'll be on there. I need some shitter reading. I'm like, yeah, let me go check the group chat. Oh, look, 200 messages.
So I do like door-to-door soliciting. So like I can check my phone in between like houses and shit. That's when I like sometimes I don't check it for a while though, and that's when I get the like the screenshot of, like 286 notifications because Tyler has triggered the fuck out of Ali and he's just like raging at him in like full schizo paragraphs.
I am very polite to him, and he's never gotten angry at me. I try to respect the fact that
Uh-huh.
he has a different opinion. We get along really well.
I respect everyone with a different
Ollie.
opinion. Just some of them
Oh,
are
yeah.
wrong. Some opinions are better than others. But no,
Yeah,
that's when I come in and I'm like, I feel like every time I re-enter that chat, I'm like coming back to a battlefield, like an empty battlefield where the bodies are still on the ground and there's like two people like punching each other. I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
happened here? I wasn't even gone I was gone for like an hour.
Yeah, but like this is the thing that has really blown me away in the recent weeks. Is like there's like two groups of people, right? Like I guess in the debate where there's people that can like, okay, we can see maybe both sides of this, or we can see some good or bad, right? Then there's people that are just like full on partisan brain. Like and it's just and like it's not even TDS at this point. It's got to be a step past it. It's like we're either all Trump or we're like all fucking everything bad, like on the Republican side. And it's like even like for example, I saw people that had been arguing for Sovereign Wealth Fund for years. The minute Trump offered one up, they were all like, "This is ludicrous." I'm like, "That's what you asked for." I don't like,
I feel like
you know.
there's a sort of like, from my perspective, I always endeavor to see things from both sides. When I talk to people, like especially like MAGA people, it's not that I don't understand like where their like motivations come from, like why they believe what they believe. But the disconnect for me is like the political realization of what they want with like what Trump is doing. And so that's where I am like kind of in a rock and a hard place where I think that Trump is like himself is like, I don't think there's anything evil about MAGA people necessarily. I mean, some of them, some MAGA people, I guess, are like, you know, like Fuentes MAGA people. I don't think there's nothing wrong with people like you. Like, I mean, it's really just Donald Trump, and it's if he was embodying, this is one of the things I wanted to get into like tonight, if he was actually embodying like some of the things that he promised his like, especially his most like devoted followers, or if he was and like actually showed that he like gave a damn about them beyond like virtue signaling, then I think it would be a lot easier for people to kind of swallow the political reality of him. And I feel like the resistance to that, like the wanting to lump everybody in, is wanting to like make it easy to categorize and dismiss because nobody kind of wants to accept the new political status quo. This is why I have trouble with people like Tyler and people like Wick, is that they already got there, and like I'm gross. I refuse to accept this new norm in American politics. So on occasion, things I sound are like, or things I say are just gonna sound like TDS or whatever. But like, I'm always able to like explain it very specifically to like a given action or a given policy or something. And I try my best not to generalize, like especially like voters.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with some of that. I just like, I'll give you an example.
Well, hold on. You
Last
don't agree with a lot of it. But that's okay. That's another thing. Is like it needs to be okay for people to disagree about like some things and then like push for agreement or consensus or compromise on other things. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I very much. This is part of the reason I find Consuela points so insidious.
Oh my god.
Because like I honestly believe that like if we all come in there and just are upfront about what we want and we don't try to bamboozle people, like all right, I know that people on the left are not gonna want what I want. However, I have like a priority list of issues.
Am I on the left?
Yeah, everybody left the sinners on the left. In my book. So like
I got called a
y'all get
neocon like twice the other day. So
yeah, well, neoliberals and neocons have like overlap.
Well,
and shit, but,
okay.
like,
Well then what?
okay,
This is
I'll give
like
you an example.
libertarianism all over again. It's who gets to
No,
claim
so
them. Nobody wants to, but somebody has to.
Well, I'll give you an example. We had a Mideast panel on Wix, like I don't know, it's like 6 months, 3 months, 4 months ago, I don't know. And it was like me and Brianna Wu were the ones arguing the exact same thing. How much do you think me and Brianna Wu agree on?
I don't know
mean,
because Brianna Wu
that-
is a grifting piece of shit whose ideology oscillates with the ability for her to gain audience and followers. So like what she believes isn't consistent enough for me to make a guess. You have a consistent belief. She doesn't, so I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. I would classify her as like a neo-lib. She's like interventionism.
Sometimes, sure.
She wants stuff done overseas. Like, and I can work with that, even though we don't want the intervention for the same reason, right? But like when I look at like people on the left, like I just like it's like I group all of them together, and one, it just pisses all of them off because they all want to be their special snowflake, whatever special brand of leftist they are. And two, I know that the moderate people on the left that are like both sides, like they're gonna have whatever. They're gonna have priorities. They're probably gonna vote with their wallet first. That's how most people vote, right? So like I could talk to them, we can work with them, but it's like I'll go in there, say for example, like I have said border is a problem. Okay, y'all want immigration reform. I'll give you immigration reform. I want immigration reform too, but I want my wall secure and shit first because I'm sick of XYZ problem. And then they'll turn around and go, you're a white landowner. Fuck you, bitch. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not even white. They're like, haha, cries and rich. I'm like, cries and rich. Like,
if that Joe Lewis clip from a while ago teaches us anything, it's that it doesn't actually matter if your skin is white. You can still be white presenting. And that makes you just as evil. So, just so you know, Gibbs. Doesn't matter the tone of your... What?
There's always an excuse if you're successful in the United States, like Asian Americans are, it's white adjacent.
Excuse me, yeah, he's white presenting, sir. This is like this... Hey. White kids should be just as successful as other... rich kids should be... What was it? Fucking like... Poor kids should be just as successful as white kids. What was the
poor
point?
kids are poor kids are better as white kids.
Yeah.
I bet that smells like cumin, Gibbs.
No,
cumin?
I get
maybe a little cumin chili powder.
I get where you're coming from, Gibbsy. I think it's important though, like that we always need to be drawing distinctions between like the extremists and the moderates. There's people who have bought into liberalism and people who have like shut it out. Like as much as I may vehemently disagree with Tyler, he and I think could coexist in a society, like comfortably. Like we have differing ideas, but we both have like the skills to act and like the conversational skills and the maturity level to actually have a conversation about it without like demonizing each other just to the core. Now, I've definitely made some hyperbolic statements about Tyler's beliefs, but I'll cop some of it to performativity, and some of it I probably shouldn't have said. But I will risk it being called a leftist because I don't want to be associated with socialism. In the same way that I feel like a lot of the conservative right shouldn't want to be associated with like Nazism.
Well, Nazis are socialists, so.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Cool.
You missed that panel.
I did miss that panel. There might have been a reason for that.
I mean, because they are socialists.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Okay. I've got a book for you to read. I got about 50
books for you.
It's called The Death Democracy by Benjamin Carter Hess.
Well, if you have to go against fucking Scott and the next championship. I'm sure. You guys
Wait,
just
what's
wanna
wrong
top
with why would I be afraid to go against Fabian Liberty Scott? He barely has 2 brain cells to rub
That
together.
motherfucker like turned into goddamn the History Channel as soon as we started. Him and Aiko were going back and forth and talking about shit about fucking Germany's history that like I'd never heard before. And I watch a lot of History Channel when I go to sleep.
Yeah, bro.
I will admit I've
let me tell
only
you
read
something.
one
You
book
gotta
about
read,
it,
bro.
but yeah,
I
no,
have a,
books are fire.
I have like 9 books about the rise and fall of the German dictatorship. We have the rise and fall of the Chancellery.
There's
I
a
got
new like docu-series or some shit. Like bio series about specific I forget what it's called. I keep seeing clips of it on YouTube. I want to watch it.
yeah. I mean, I like have gone deep dived into it, and it's like Nazis really are socialists. It's like if you really dive into it, it's
Like
not
in
even
what
like a debate.
sense though? Like because
Oh,
well, how are we defining socialism, and in what sense do the Nazis embody that? Because my understanding is that the Nazis align themselves with the socialists to like consolidate their power and then put a bullet in the back of their heads during the night of the long knives.
that's not totally true. I mean, there is some truth to that, but you have to remember that like there's factions within socialists. Not every socialist is the same, right? So they're like wanting national socialism as opposed to what's Pentuple with the raid. Let's go. Um, so like for example, Goebbels would be at the time would be a far leftist uh socialist, right? But
And
like what? But as compared to Strasser, who is like wants a worldwide socialist movement as opposed, right? So the Nazis instead are that when the ones that survived after long lives focused on like nationalized socialism as opposed to
well,
trying to do the world kind of thing. That's a big differential right there. You won't make it? All right, cool. Hell yeah, I'll be here live at Temple.
yeah,
But
no,
like
sorry, go ahead.
I can like give you a shitload of quotes. I can give you like examples. Like the Work Through Joy program is a good example of like socialists. They give them workers' rights. They created the biggest union in the world, right? Like that's what the National Socialist Party is. It turns into a union. Then they have all sorts of other shit. Like and people are like, oh well, they nationalized some of these industries. Sure, sure. And they're like, oh, they had certain crony capitalists. Okay, sure. It's a hybrid system. It's not full on socialism. But like, there's good examples where you go in there. They go, "Oh, people didn't have a job. Well, guess what? Now you're digging ditches today." They would just go in there and assign you a job. It's pretty easy to have zero unemployment when you're in a total war economy, right? Like, so you can just go through all this stuff. If you look at the 25-point plan, like 12 of those things, even though some of the like 3 of those include race-related stuff, I would argue that socialism can be racist, just like any form of it. They
So
are all specific socialist programs. Like you have uh basically you have like the unionizing, you have abortion is pushed, you have health care for these people,
okay,
you
wait,
have
okay,
universal health
hold
care.
on. So as a formally declared socialist, my understanding of
Hold the title, I gotta take something
socialism was that it was an economic model based on equal distribution. And
It
I feel
is.
like, well, okay, so I feel like a lot of times these days, whatever the fuck I was trying to say there,
All right, try that again,
socialism,
Doc, thing.
sure. I feel like often these days, socialism gets used as a sort of like woke or like Nazi on the left, as a sort of like inward for bad thing I don't like. And I don't know that I would necessarily say that like abortion, for example, is socialist somehow. To me, socialism is always
Abortion
just
in and of
the
itself is not
economic
socialist.
model.
No. So abortion in and of itself is not socialist. However, what the Nazis did that did make it socialist is they included it within their universal health care program. So it's government funding an
Well, yeah,
abortion.
but well, hold on. But what's the socialist part there? The government-funded healthcare or the abortions?
Yeah, that the
Okay,
government
well,
funded
yeah,
health.
but then
That
then
one.
I don't think it's fair to say that just because like they had government-funded healthcare, one element of that is inherently socialist. To me, the inherently socialist element there is the government-funded healthcare. But I don't. I maybe it's the leftists and maybe I'm stupid and maybe I'll grow out of it one day. But to me, like there can't be socialism anywhere while capitalism exists because the outside forces of capitalism will always pressure it into acting in capitalistic ways. So like the Soviet Union wasn't socialist to me. Nazis weren't socialist to me. China isn't fucking socialist to me. It's all like authoritarian bordering on like a full-on fascism depending on what
Okay.
we're talking about. So like
Well-
I'm not and I understand that there is an overlap between like what you're talking about with National Socialism and what a lot of people kind of like commonly define fascism as, which is the union of like a government and industry control. So I don't know, like it feels like this is one of those like nebulous things that is like
Okay,
used
so
to try
let
and
me
get
just-
a point up on leftists when I don't really understand the point
No,
of like even
I
drawing
can, I
that.
can read you. I can read you some examples. Right?
Okay.
Nazis believe in government-run healthcare. Run healthcare. They had government-run education. Those are both socialist programs. Like that's not full-on socialist. We have some socialist programs in our government. We're not fully socialist, right?
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't
okay,
call them. I
but
would
then you look at
socialist
their
policy.
overall.
Yeah.
Right. Then you look at their overall philosophy. Nazis preached, and I about 50 quotes where they from all the major leaders post Night of Long Lives believe that individuals should be sacrificed for the greater good of the community. That's a socialist thinking. Point,
It's
right?
also a fascist thinking point. Yeah. It's a nationalistic point rather. It's not just
Collectivist.
it's
Yeah, it's
Collectivist.
collectivist.
or
It's not
collectivist. Sure,
fascist.
sure, collectivist. But would not nationalism fall under collectivism? The idea of like sacrificing the individual for the good of the state.
I'd be like,
Like,
maybe?
see the
I mean,
fact
like,
that you're
I'm not-
saying maybe is kind of my point. Is like it's just like it's
I'm not gonna sit here and be like
Could.
maybe liberty and be like, well, no, because I guess it is a collective. I wouldn't say that's the generally like accepted like idea of.
it just feels
collectivism.
like we're not a democracy, we're a constitutional republic argument. Like it's so dumb and it doesn't like actually like who cares? Like oh the Nazis were evil. The point is their ideology was evil. And if there are elements of it that were socialist that we can adopt into like better policies today, then there's nothing wrong with that. But Nazi ideology is evil. Like that's
Okay, let me
same
give you-
with
let me give you
Soviet
another one.
ideology is evil.
This is from Strasser.
I'm triggering Tyler.
This is a letter between Strasser and
I just want to clarify.
Goebbels. It says, "We are socialists. We are enemies, deadly enemies of today's capitalist economic system with an exploitation of the economically weak. It's unfair wage system. It's a moral way of judging the worth of human beings in terms of their wealth and their money instead of their responsibility and their performance, and are determined to destroy that system whatever happens." So, okay, that answers your economic quota.
Well,
so
whoa. Okay, what was this again? This was a letter.
Between Goebbels and Strasser,
When was it? When was this sent?
right before the Night of Long Knives.
Okay, so okay.
This is.
You mean
is
when they
after-
killed all the socialists?
Well, Goebbels didn't. What? How did they kill the socialists?
Well, they
Goebbels
killed the anarchic socialists that could actually pose a threat to them establishing authoritarian control. They killed the anarchists and the communists.
Okay, how about for the 25-point plan which they enacted? Like, will you accept that then?
I don't know. What I'm telling you is I don't find any merit in either side of this argument because to me it's just quibbling over like terminology for the sake of like